What's up, guys? This is Demkeys, and welcome to Demkeys Rambles 3. Uh, so, the first thing I want to talk about is doing research. Uh, I will take it into game development as well, but the research here that I'm talking about is news related. Don't just blindly believe any article or any video that you see from any particular media outlet. I'm not saying all media outlets are liars. It's just that you never know uh, which media outlet might be exaggerating a story or might just outright be lying about it. So it's definitely a good idea to do more research before believing the story that you read from a particular media outlet. Uh, what more can I say about it? Yeah, I mean, just do your research. It's really important uh, because media outlets sometimes, how do I say this, you don't know. Okay, so I don't want to give this example, but I'm gonna have to give this example. Let's take the recent PewDiePie incident that happened. Clearly, I'm not gonna name media outlets here, but clearly some media outlets did take uh, stuff from his videos out of context, and they pretty much called him a racist. Now, when you take stuff out of context, it's very easy to make it look negative. And that's exactly what some of the media outlets did. The problem here is that a lot of people choose to believe that. Yeah, a lot of people uh, know Felix, PewDiePie, and so they're not gonna just believe when some media outlet says that he's racist. But there are people who don't know Felix and who might choose to believe the first media outlet that they hear this news from. And they're going to end up thinking that this person is a racist, whereas he's not. Uh, at least, I mean, that's my personal opinion that he's not a racist. Uh, but yeah, I mean, keeping him aside, it's really important that you do research before just believing news that's given to you from a particular media outlet. Again, not saying all media outlets are liars. Some are, some actually are. Some of them will exaggerate stories. Some of them will, just like the PewDiePie situation, some media outlets will take things out of context and try to make fake news. Uh, Again, pretty much lying about it. So, yeah, it's important to do your research. When you hear news from one particular media outlet, do your research and see if it's actually true. Don't just believe one media outlet. Yeah, that's it. That's on researching news. Speaking of research, don't be afraid to, and now I'm going into game development, don't be afraid to do research before, or let's not call it research. Let's just say don't be afraid to Google things. Let's say you are trying to achieve a certain game mechanic. You're working on a game and you're trying to create a certain game mechanic. Rather than trying to figure out, I mean, I'm not saying that don't challenge yourself to see whether you can come up with a good way, but also keep research as one option because you never know that maybe the method that you are coming up with, through this research you might be able to improve this method, or you might find a better method. There's a chance you might not find a better method as well, but you never know. So always give research a chance as well, because it can really save your sorry, it can really save your time. uh, I mean, in my personal experience, uh, all I can tell you is Google is your best friend. I'm talking about the search engine. What I mean is, do research. Uh, when you're trying to achieve a certain game mechanic or anything, it doesn't necessarily have to be a game mechanic. you're trying to figure out how to do something, uh, rather than trying to reinvent the wheel, try to do some research, and maybe you might figure out, uh, you know, a better way than what you were able to come up with. Chances are you're going to learn a lot by doing research, and honestly, there's no shame in asking help. You shouldn't be ashamed about it at all, because you can't know everything, you know. There are things that you may not know, and the only way that you can know them is by doing research or by asking other people for that information. So there's no shame in asking for help, and looking it up on the internet is actually asking for help. uh, so yeah. All right, so I guess that's going to be it for this episode of Demkeys Rambles. Before I leave, I want to tell you to check out the particle system in Unity. A long time back, Unity had done a live training session on the basics of the particle system. It explains all the modules that are in the particle system. Since then, a few new modules have been added, but I would say that if you go back and watch that video even now, you'll still be able to learn the basics of the particle system from that video, even though it's so old. Okay, so there was that live training video that teaches you the basics, and very recently they had a live training session, uh, just to give you an idea of what recently is. Uh, as of now, like when I'm recording this video, it's 23rd of Feb. So yeah, 23rd of Feb 2017. So yeah, they did a live training session recently where they explain how to make certain things using the particle system. Things like a bonfire, or if I remember right, there was smoke as well. I don't remember exactly, but they teach you how to make certain things using the particle system. That particular live training session, it does not teach you the basics. So go watch the basics first, the live training video on the basics first, and then watch this. The recent live training session on particle systems, I don't think there's like one big video for it. They actually decided to cut it up and make it into a tutorial series. So, anyways, if you go onto the Unity channel, you'll find the series over there. It's a series of 8 videos, and they're not that big. So yeah, why I'm telling you this is because I've been messing around with the particle system recently, like actually making things, not just seeing what module does what. And so far, I've made just maybe 2, 3, 4 different types of particle systems, and I've already learned a lot. I'm not saying I know, a lot about particle systems, but I do know that I've learned a lot. Uh, at least, compared to what I knew before about particle systems, now I know much more than what I knew before. So yeah, go check it out if you are actually interested in making particle systems. And once you watch, the reason I'm telling you to watch the latest series as well is because it's gonna give you a starting point. Like, you'll have an idea of what ways you can use to make certain things, and then that from that point on, when you have to make something else, you might be able to imagine that, yeah, I could use this module, and with so and so settings I can uh, have so and so effect. So yeah, that's why I'm telling you to watch the series. And yeah, I guess that's it. Also, I want to just remind you, not sure if this is a reminder or not, but yeah, I just want to say that if you're a subscriber of mine, just make sure you are subscribed to me, because every now and then there's some sort of glitch happening with YouTube, so you never know if you have been accidentally unsubscribed. So just go back, check, make sure. And if you're not subscribed, then subscribe. Um, yeah, that's it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.